what you may not know is that many nutrient gaps are unavoidable for many reasons we'll highlight here, and therefore it is our stance, along with many other top nutrition experts, that everyone should incorporate a daily multivitamin mineral, including a high dose of vitamin D, no matter how well they think they eat. This has never been a negotiable point for any of my clients, friends, or certainly family. And as many as you have heard me say, along with activity and maintaining a healthy weight, a daily multivitamin mineral formula is an important part of a womb-to-tomb practice if you want to continue to do the things you love throughout all stages of life. We call it growing strong and staying strong. In other words, instead of having only a typical lifespan where the body weakens over the years because it's not getting all it can use to stay strong, as happens with the majority of our populations, by filling gaps from day one, you have the potential to be self-sufficient, including continuing to do what you love to do throughout life. I call it your play span matching your lifespan, because you can continue to cognitively and physically do the things you love. And remember, we're not talking about curing disease by supplementing. We're talking about attempting to prevent many common chronic diseases caused by poor nutrition by making sure the body has what it needs to build a strong structure throughout life, so common diseases don't set in because of what scientists call the triage effect, which in a nutshell is described as something needed long-term will be sacrificed for short-term needs. As triage applies to the body, it means that although any shortage in current established daily nutrition needs in any immediate day have little effect, it has profound effects long-term. Meaning, if you are even marginally short on overall daily needs for extended periods, which is proven based on diet alone, some parts of the body will get less than it needs to function optimally. The body now must decide where the limited amounts of nutrients should go based on immediate rather than long-term needs. Human bodies have been programmed to favor short-term survival, including reproduction, over long-term health when there are shortages of essential nutrients. In other words, when there are less than optimal vitamins, minerals, or amino acids entering our bodies, they will be routed to the areas that are needed to keep us alive, such as energy production, blood formation, and other immediate daily functions, all at the expense of other areas of metabolism whose lack of optimal nutrition has only long-term consequences, such as age-related disease like cancer, osteoarthritis, osteoporosis, dementia, muscle loss, etc. So in summary, shortages of needs of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, or any of the other approximate 40% essential nutrients and bioactives that make up our entire body for prolonged periods forces the body to use them only for short-term survival needs at the expense of our long-term health. Now you can see why 2/3 of our healthcare problems are considered preventable, simply because they're caused by poor lifestyle choices, and especially from what we eat, or should I say, what we don't eat. Remember when your mom said, "You are what you eat"? Well, believe it or not, at that time she was 100% right. You are entirely made up of everything you eat, but unfortunately, that also means that you become what you don't eat. Therefore, to restate the possibly not so obvious, no growth or repair happens if you don't eat. In fact, every part of you would simply shrink as your body begins to feed off itself to stay alive. Because since the beginning of life, it is the portions of what we eat that are deposited in our bodies that leads to our growth and maintenance of all our tissues. But what might not be so apparent is the fact that by putting the right stuff daily, especially as you're growing, so listen up all you parents out there, you will have the potential to be better in all growth and development phases than if you simply eat what you feel like eating. In other words, giving yourself the correct nutrients and amounts daily, including supplementing the nutrition your diet doesn't or can't timely supply, your health and physical stature can be the best you were born to be at each phase of your life. And remember, nobody gets what we know the body needs each day to maximize health, growth, and development from food alone. Nobody. All those facts are referenced right here in your practitioner dietary supplement reference guide, as shown in this slide, and the accompanying article optimizing health maximizes the growing athlete's size. Therefore, without supplementing the diet to cover all your nutritional bases, you can miss health and growth opportunities during your height and structure building years, including during puberty and the years immediately after. And what you probably don't know is that this is what your mom did for you while you were in the womb. Her doctor had her take a multivitamin mineral called a prenatal to make sure you got what you needed to completely develop during each of your 3 trimesters in the womb, and the next few years during breastfeeding and baby formula feedings, which also contains a multivitamin mineral. This simple daily action by our mothers basically reduced serious birth defects by 35% and the risk of losing a baby by almost 55%. So my question has always been, why would anyone ever stop taking a simple daily multivitamin? Nothing changes except your diet's probably getting worse as you age, meaning you need the multivitamin mineral more. You're still developing or constantly replacing tissues throughout all life phases and need all the help you can get in giving your body all it can actually use to build a stronger structure, rather than just feeding it what you feel like eating, which certainly will miss many important nutrients over time that contribute to your structural integrity or lack thereof. These windows of development, just like the 3 trimesters in the womb, close, and you can't go back and open them. And continuing to fill nutritional gaps throughout life is a major component in reducing the risk of what I like to call adult defects. In other words, poor bone health, early physical breakdown, injury-prone disease, etc. And doing so allows you to play your sport or favorite activity at the highest level longer, but even more importantly, allows the potential for you to remain productive and self-sufficient throughout your life. So your takeaway? Fill unavoidable or common gaps with nutrition we know is missing to bring everyone's nutrition levels to the levels that show reduced risk of disease, thus avoiding the triage effect, and can make you feel and perform better daily. And this is done by simply supplying substances already in the body but are compromised by diet because you don't get enough, and aging because you don't extract them from foods as well as you did when you were younger. Therefore, staying active and filling nutritional gaps throughout life is the first, easiest, and least expensive healthcare measure imaginable, and should be done by every human being if you want to keep playing at a high level the wonderful game of life. It is the responsibility of every fitness professional to get this message to the public if we truly want to make a difference.